Hello, Daddy folks. It is DIECAST Buffet here again. Welcome back to NASCAR 06 Career Mode. So, we had a pretty good run at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and things are starting to turn around just a little bit for the race team. We're going to go out and qualify for the Aaron's 312. We're already locked into the show thanks to our top 35 in points. So, I'll be right back after we get to see who wins the Cup race and the modified race. Alrighty, folks, so we qualified second to the outside of Carl Edwards. Now, this is a super fast racetrack. I remember racing Busch cars here many years ago on a career mode playthrough, and it felt like Atlanta Super Speedway because you get all the Roush-keteers when I was a Roush driver, and we would just run nose to tail, full throttle around this joint with the assists. So, I have no clue how this one's going to shake out, but what I do know is that Roush is super good at Atlanta Super Speedway, or Motor Speedway. Obviously, we're going to struggle right off the rip. This is normal. Ryan Newman's actually racing today. He is a part-timer. So it's just really cool to see all these different drivers out here. I think Edwards is a part-timer as well. Could be mistaken. This game has part-time drivers. Whoa, Nelly really lost the nose right there. Please don't wreck. Please, Lord, don't let me wreck. I just want to find my groove and just slowly work through it. We made some post-qualifying adjustments to give it a little bit of a lower spring setting or whatever. We lowered that. We worked on a little bit of tire pressure to give us some more handling. And I'm curious how this one's going to go. This track race is so fast when you have the best Busch car arguably in the game. And your teammates are running extremely well. It's such a fun racetrack. And it's nip and tuck because they just ride right behind you as the leader the whole freaking lap. It is a whole lot of fun. He's down there. I can't... Oh, no. We just washed up too high. I couldn't come down on Brandon Miller there in the 21 car. I had to cut him a little bit of a break. But I'm also seeing, can we loosen the car up? Can we tighten the car up? I'm not too sure, but drafting here is a must. I really want to try loosening the car up just to see what it'll do, but at the same time, I'm worried. These guys are jockeying for position. Boyer and Kenseth and Hamil. I mean, even Newman. I mean, they are really going at it. Drafting here it is just as important as it is in the Atlanta Super Speedway era that we currently have as of 2023. Like, I kid you not, Atlanta on NASCAR 06 races a lot like Atlanta Super Speedway because drafting is so important. Look at the first two cars. Are they not bump drafting? I'm just saying, like, are they not pushing each other away from the pack? So I'm saying Kyle Busch is literally pushing Carl Edwards away from the pack here. Now, it's not too wide, Talladega style, but it feels like it. It's so weird. A game that was made 18 years ago races in a lot of ways like Atlanta Super Speedway. When you run the full assists, it feels like you have a restrictor plate on there. And it races so similar. It's more of like an old school plate racing style where everyone's kind of scattered out, but at the same time, they have little gaggles of cars. I mean, Kenseth, he can't get by Newman. So what does he do? He pushes them. That's the way these Busch cars are designed. Whenever you get behind them, it bump drafts them, if like in English, without any contact because the air pockets right behind that spoiler. In the Gen 4 days, it's actually hard to link up the way because they had the beach ball effect. When you get behind them, it creates this massive, high-pressured beach ball, so to speak, of air. And that if you just get behind them, it pushes them. Nowadays, you can actually physically bump draft because the whole fuselage of the car is different. The whole aerodynamics and everything. But if you really think about the back ends of these cars, they're kind of like, they're almost like a radar dish, if you will. Like, they absorb air. They're, inverted, if you will. I think Kenseth touched the wall there just a little bit. I mean, we're solid in the top 8 right now. We're on lap 8 as well. And our tires are not wearing nowhere near as much as I anticipated. Now, does that mean we need to go loosen the car up? I don't think so. But I'm just happy we're running somewhat competitively. Now, when do you pit? I have no idea. Maybe now. Do I think I can make it to the end? I do think I can. Let's go ahead and pit. Oh, no, this 133 car. Yep. There goes me again, screwing up the pit stop. I should have just... Dang it. I should have checked way before If I wouldn't have came down on him, I would have missed the pit stop, lost all that track position. So it's kind of like you just go for it and hopefully he lifts, right? That's the only thing you can do in that situation. Because if I wouldn't have hooked myself, so to speak, we would lose a lot of track position. So it's my fault there, obviously, but we're gonna go ahead and pit and get some service done to this car, and hopefully we can keep it going. So no damage repair. I'm gonna drop the PSI a little bit more. I don't feel comfortable lowering the wedge because the car was starting to get a little bit loose later in the run. And it's not like the car is super tight either. We're just lifting just enough in the corners. But what this is going to do is this is going to rack everyone up. And we'll see how this shakes out. I don't know how many cars were already on pit road. I imagine more than 5 at least. Come on, team. We need a great pit stop here. Another subtle detail of this game I love so much is, or really most of the EA games, is Bozo McGee can't get his lug nuts right. Is there's a little bit of dirt and grime on the nose of these cars that you don't see early on in the race. And as the run goes on, you actually see the buildup, which is really, really cool to me. Alright, so our old teammate's actually going to be the leader here of the Dodge. A bunch of cars pitted. This is going to shake everything up. Let's see how this goes. So we got Earnhardt behind us. It's going to be slow in the restart. And we'll just have to hold on for dear life. Long enough. Brandon Ash at the bottom there. He's going to look. He's got a little bit of a bump draft behind. Alright, building that speed. Building that speed. These cars, man, they just feel fast. Whoo, boy. Fresh tires at Atlanta. Looking on the inside, clear. I need that 21 car to give me a bump draft here, man. Try to make up the track position. It's crazy to think Atlanta has more banking than what it has in this game. Like, if you look at the corners in Atlanta, it looks like, I mean, it's insane how much banking this track has. And then you think nowadays they have even more. It's like, what? It's like, what? No, they actually have more banking. It's crazy. If we can just catch the draft of them, we can start, you know, jockeying for position. There's a bunch of fantasy cars in this mix that are not as competitive. So potentially that could slow some good cars down and give us kind of a second chance. I have no idea where the race leaders are prior to the caution, that being Boyer, Kyle Busch. I'm assuming they're somewhere in this pack. I can't really make them out if they are. Ooh, car high in the wall. Watch out. He might ping pong here. Be careful. Sometimes they run that outside groove and they'll pop off the wall into traffic. And the way the AI works in this game, anytime a car slows up, they have like an automatic braking sensor. And essentially it's a great thing, but it's also a bad thing. Because it means everyone woes up for an accident they might not need to woe up for. And we just botched that corner, a little too much throttle. And this car is just going to conveniently stay on my inside and not pass me until I lift. So thank you for that. It's all good. It's like, if you're going to pass me, just do it, you know. It's all good. He probably got lucky with the caution, and that's why he's up here. He's probably unfortunately not a super competitive car, because I've ran into him multiple times driving Busch cars last year. But you can just see, look at these cars. They're all packed up. Does this not remind you of Atlanta Super Speedway? I'm telling you, it's so weird. A game made in 2005, borderline made with 2004 assets, has Atlanta Super Speedway. It's like if Atlanta was worn out, right, and they couldn't stay super packed up, that's how Atlanta races in this game. It's crazy. It has a form of Atlanta Super Speedway, and I love it. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh, we almost wrecked there. I had to lift and just not even hit the gas. Just ease off that white line, because if you hit the throttle, it will spin you around like a top. I need this inside lane. Please, just let me have the inside already. And he's not going to do so, and the guy behind me is going to take it from me. Why not? Okay. We're 16th right now. We definitely have more speed than these guys, and we just can't get through the pack. Race leader right now is one of the random fantasy drivers. I couldn't tell you if he's a super competitive car or not. But what I can tell you, these guys are packed up. Great racing here at Atlanta. White flag at the air. This one's pretty much already won. I mean, he's got nobody behind him. Man, if we didn't have that caution there, we could have been in a good spot because we would have pitted early. And who knows what would have happened. I mean, Carl Edwards, who was, you know, your pole sitters back in this pack. I mean, he's got nowhere to go, bro. 12th right now, coming off the corner, full send. Not going to be enough. Go defensive line. And 12th. Back-to-back 12 finishes. I'll take it. I wish I could get a top 10. You know how I am about those stats, but Justin Smith's going to oust Matt Kenseth and Mark Martin, 2 Roush-Keteers. I did say earlier in the video, Roush is super good at Atlanta. Sure enough, they are. What a fun race. That was fun. It's kind of ironic how Aaron sponsors the Talladega Cup race, and in this game they sponsor the Atlanta Busch race, and I think they also sponsor the Talladega Busch race too. So it's kind of funny how in the future this track would be a super speedway, but in this game it races like a super speedway. It's only like they predicted the future, like they did with the Dodge Raceway Stadium predicting the Busch Clash. You never know. So a pretty good run for us. Great points day. We're making points up. And this one kind of had a little bit of chaos in it, which is good. That's going to spread out the field. Your regulars didn't get their regular positions. And the Busch Series is a lot more equal playing field than the Truck Series. The Truck Series is like, if you're part of the Big 3 or Big 4, you're going to have a great shot. This guy's, I mean, he is hot under the collar here. I mean, this dude is ready to go at it. Wow. But it's interesting, like in the Truck Series, you have 3 or 4 drivers that dominate the whole year, right? But in the Busch Series, you have the part-timers, you have the, you know, I think there's like 50 or 60 different vehicles, no, there's like 50 different vehicles that make an entry throughout the season. So there's a lot of rotation, and the track layouts, there's a lot of wild card racing as well. So it's a lot easier to win the championship if you have a super good car, I think, in this series. Could be mistaken on that. So we're going to go ahead and apologize to that cat. And our next race is going to be at Rockingham, which is in Hawaii for whatever reason. That'd be pretty cool. JJ Yaley is your points leader. And we dropped back 1 spot. We're 342 out, but we're 20th though. So we're running decent. Where's our teammate? Oh boy, 40th. He's not even... Oh man, he's not even locked in. But my point is, you have 53 different vehicles that are racing. I mean, think about this. Truex is not even full time in this playthrough. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Jamie Mayfield, Casey Kane, Jay McMurray, Denny Hamlin. You know, it's like all these different drivers that have the ability to win on any given weekend. They can show up. I think Edwards is full time. I could be mistaken on that. We'll have to see. But yeah, good solid points day. And that's all for now, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you at Rockingham. Diecast Buffet, signing off.